Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, and today we will be reacting to the newest chapter of My Academia, which is also chapter 400. Oh my god, it's a milestone chapter, and we all know how epic they are. Well, it's even more epic considering the fact this is probably gonna be the last milestone chapter. I mean, yeah, I do feel like we could still be going for quite a few chapters, like maybe like 20 at most, or somewhere around that time period, around that number. But when it comes down to it, I doubt that the final fight between the ending fight between All Might and All for One and Shigaraki versus Izuku is going to be another 100 chapters. Like, I doubt it. I feel like we are reaching like the final end portions. So yeah. This is gonna be a really epic chapter, like I can already tell. Especially considering the title of the chapter is Beyond Limits! I know we all are very excited for it, so let's get into this excitement. So we start this chapter off with Ayama all bleedy and kind of looking like, is that you, Hagakure? As we see Hagakure standing on the plant guy, as I guess she first restraining him with her restraints, as she is being like, as she slowly unraveled, revealing her invisibility is not working, and as you all aware of, Hagakure's outfit, hero costume is kinda, it's practical, not exactly hidden. When as Hagakure is examining, because she found weird that he was like, is that you, Hagakure? Is like there's anyone else that would be able to do stuff while you can see? So she's kind of checking her arm. As she looks down, she looks up as she realizes that she's currently completely revealed, like her hair, her eyes, her general shape, which to be fair has already been revealed in the story. Bit of a controversial reveal in the cover pages, but it has already been revealed. But we have Hagakure reacted to it like you would expect. She's like, eek! Look away! Because, she's completely uncovered. Like, she's nude now. Even more nude than she regularly is, and usually she at least has gloves or boots, but now she seems to have nothing, completely nothing. As Ayama's like, oh, Kui! As Hagakure starts running away from the field from everyone because again she's completely uncovered. As Hagakure screams, "No! Being invisible is like my whole identity." True, like let's be honest. So how many people actually remember Hagakure as anything more than like the girl that's invisible? No one. As they have Aoyama looking away, is like, Kui, forgive me, but I didn't react as I myself was on the verge of death. Since, I mean, it's true. Kind of a weird, kind of a tone that killing kind of beginning to a chapter, if you ask me, with this fan service, but I guess if you're gonna wait until the very end, you might as well do it in the end. As they have Goku back, using my quirk has never caused this before. Oh wait, maybe it did? Referring to when Oyama was revealed to be a traitor, where her reflecting his beam made her show part of her face. So it is. Higoshi is again trying to remind us this has happened before. Don't think it's just for fans, so it's accurate. Kind of similar to how he was like debating with the whole Toga situation in the previous war, where he was like, how would she be able to dress herself fully this quickly? Like how? Similar to his, like how would Hagakure? Why would Hagakure be dressed now? Now, if she is invisible 24/7, as they will have Hagakure think himself, facing down Doom must have made him go past his usual capacity, and that made my invisibility quirk bug out. So the reason she's bugging out is because Aoyama's lasers were, I guess, too powerful of a light to bounce out without some repercussions on Hagakure's invisibility. As there, Hagaku thinking to himself, Ayama, your quirk went and evolved. So I guess that's also the reason which, to be fair, I don't think it's evolved as much as just increased power. As then we have, I think, we have Oyama saying, "Forget about that. We must burn away." I guess he heard her what she said. He's like, so I was like, "Forget about what we must burn away these plants to save our allies." Fent mentioned that they would continue to grow even with their mass defeated. I guess this is what happened. They know that from the encounter where they captured Kyoto, I believe was his name. So yeah, as he says, even when with their master defeat, the will behind them may be gone, but they do not vanish. As then we have see our Fat Gum, which is I guess means the Fat Gum is gonna survive. Which is again, I kind of felt like Fat Gum should die, but I guess not. Not again. I don't care, but it would be kind of make sense if at least Fat Gum or something like that died. But anyways, we have I was saying, Kagakure, you can adjust the strength of my light to burn the roots that dig into their flesh. Although to be fair, I'm probably basically some at this point should die. Pretty much probably like the last couple of you that would turn to plants. Let's try to save them. As then we have Hagakure saying, "Yeah, is your tummy up for it?" Since Ayama's tummy is not really able to handle it, and it evolved and all that, so the consequences could be even bigger. But Ayama just tells her with a smile, like, "This day will be my last as a student of UA, so yes, whatever it may take." So basically, whatever rip my organs or whatever permanent consequences I'm going to get for this quirk, hopefully they'll at least be permanent, not something like Izuku's arm, where apparently they grew so much in strength to the point when they actually are broken, they were able to survive it. But there's gonna be this kind of revelation, but I don't know, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. As we cut away from this part of the story, as we cut back to All Might versus All for One, as we have the system that All for One, All Might was using to blast at All for One last chapter's reporting engines overheating, battery failure. As our All Might just screams at the machine, "Let it up, even a bit, he'll drag himself away." So yeah, basically, like, go full power. I don't care if you get complete destroy at the end. You must use it completely. As we see a shot of the being set at all for one and destroying a thing. As then we see All Might moving around in his damaged state, as he says to himself, "I've taken no, not to in his mind, just out loud he's thinking." But I've taken a cue from Star's last stand. Although turning a laser into solid matter for continuous isn't a trick in my repertoire, uh, as he is referring to is what he's doing now, they are blasting for him, which which funny enough, in the unofficial list, I think there is a bit of a reference to it to Star, but also there was a reference to it, but it was more like a uh, if I remember correctly, it was something on the lines of it's not as powerful as stars, but in this one, it's just like it's not. He's not used to using this kind of trick since he doesn't. But I don't think any of the powers that Ulfon grants you actually would give you the ability to make a laser beam. So this is a completely new thing. So yeah, it is accurate. Then we see the girl being burned, but from these burns we see that All for One is actually emerging from it. Even that, as they will have All Might saying, "So, sound wave vibration earphone jack." We are referencing Jero. I'm assuming we're gonna be just referencing every single one we can. I think we maybe have referenced everyone at this point. Maybe I'm forgetting a few. Maybe I'm did we reference Bakugo and Izuku yet? I think we did, but I'm not entirely certain. We might. I mean, again, those two have like those like very like. I would honestly see it like as like a final attack. Honestly, like he uses a combination of Izuku and Bakugo's attack in the end to finish him off. If we haven't seen him, but yeah, but we were saying that. So yeah, then we have All Might saying, "I'll have to blast him with all I've got to keep him square in the strike zone." So similar to how Jiro used her earphone janks to like kind of stall him a bit. That's what All Might's doing here, where to stall him since he may have a bad chance using it now than Jiro had, even if it's like inferior version because it's a pure gadget jet. As then we get a bit of an explanation on how he escaped from the blast. Since those two are like I think All For One was on top of All Might, so on top of All Might. So how would he be able to avoid it while All For One got hit if the blast was going like straight down? And we get explained here with All Might saying, "I purged the tentacle parts and zipped away with a full power thrusting just as the beam was coming down. And coating my armor with Invisible Girl, a special optic resin helped shield me from the laser heat a bit." So, as then we get like a visual representation of this. So basically, then from the visual here, it looks like Tentacle Line was kind of like wrapping around itself all for one, so he'll be kind of stall a bit. And the Invisible Girl was just, this reflection was just another extra bonus. Next, to keep away from the damage, as we have him will say, "Engineering this trap meant taking that one hit out. I guarantee I got it with Tailman." As then we get, I guess, I mean, it's kind of difficult to see this panel exactly, but basically, I think we see, I think it's the laser that gets sent. It's part of the laser where it just gets sit down and busting through a bit of the Tailman's attachment. As I have All Might saying, "Though my legs still pay the price," as we see his legs kind of dangling now, just from all the pain. Which, I mean, speaking, All Might, you probably have gotten, from all the shit you got, all the blows you've gotten in this fight, I feel like the fact that only your legs are currently wangling all around you isn't like the worst thing. I mean, just look at Gigantomachia. The guy is literally still one of the strongest captives, but was like one-shotted by All For One. Pretty much, it feels like you're useless to me. You can die. So I think you still went away most unscathed. Is that All Might saying more things of, "You wanted to see my face, so you didn't aim for my head, you moron. I got easy hair. I got off easy here." So yeah, basically, in case you're wondering why didn't All For One just like go for the head straight up, it's simply he wanted its ego. He wanted to watch All Might's despair. It's like kind of that like extra amount of joy you get when villains like torment someone, where they actually get to see the expression kind of thing. It's like when there's like that over the top revenge quest guy, and then there's like one character who the way he wants to get revenge on him is like, "I'll have you be eaten alive, but you're gonna be seeing it with your own eyes. Like your head will be the final thing that's gonna die." Type of situation. But yeah, anyways, then we get River Stab being sent from the ground, sending All Might even more away and damaging him a bit. I don't think that like there's not a go through hit, so I think it's like one of those like you got aimlessly hit in the chest, and like like that's it accidentally hit and not really went through it. As they have All Might also kind of like in as his armor gets like he gets it's more busting, he's starting to bleed. As they have All Might saying, "Morphin armor, create the." Oh, that's right, he didn't use create moments yet. I mean, I can't really forget about that. As we have, as this one just seems to be like a kind of use one part of the armor to make like a bomb or something to to bust to well some kind of orbs from the armor to send away. Which honestly, I feel like I say what this armor has done already. This one just kind of feels like just name it for the sake of naming it. I'm pretty sure you could have named quite a few of those things like Creati, maybe even Wasp, but I simply forgot. But regardless, we have all my favorite stuff. "I couldn't load myself up with more power than this." As if he has used it, reveals those things that he created are binding rounds, grape juice, and grape juice. He's also forgot about that. I also forgot about him, as he sends those. Actually, where are those characters? Now I think about like where are Sato? Where is Minato right now? Because I don't think we've seen him. Unless we have. Wait, was he on the Gigantomachia Express situation? Or am I forgetting something? Or wait, wait, he might have banned the Gigantomachia Express situation because I think there was a comment about use my balls, you get use my grape balls because they make hair look better. So it might be him, but I'm not entirely certain if it was grape juice. Uh, if it was Minata there, but or not. I think it has to have been. Anyways, then we have a a shot of those hitting for once on the hands to like cool him down a bit. And then we get this like really cool the panel with All Might where he's just like kind of down. Like I kind of feel like this might be a slow motion panel because there's no background, and I'm not sure if that is like a uh, I mean, Hakoshi Kun because of health wise, or if it just was like he didn't want because the only thing that we should focus on here is All Might to like really stand out. So you see him like there, like I think his rocket boots are like still having a little bit of fire, but they are barely having it. They also are extremely destroyed. Like every piece of the armor is either like so damaged that it's cracked, or it's so damaged that it's like literally falling apart as it seems. So yeah, it's a really badass panel as All Might's with a grin on his face like a dog again. Yeah, you're going down. Thinks to himself, well, my if Euphoria is still overriding the pain. Euphoria is still overriding the pain. As then we cut to the Hercules' camera or the camera that's been recording everything. As then we cut to a house somewhere as we get to see an old style television there as we see like a little boy with his grandma watching this as the boy's like, who is this skinny guy in black? I guess the armor is actually mostly black. Suppose I would think it would be dark blue, but whatever. As then we have the grandma saying, I don't know much about all them heroes. I'm too old for this, Sonny. I am 800 years old. I mean, okay, I don't think she has like a that time a quirk, but it'd be kind of fun if she does have like an aging decreasing quirk. I mean, those do exist. We know that, so I would not be surprised. Huh. Here's a question: would there be a quirk in My Academia that would be immortality? Because the quirks get stronger, and in immortality quirk will actually make a lot of sense. Now I think about it, it's just gonna be like your body doesn't have the activation functions. But in regards back to the story, as we hear this kid saying, "What happens if he wins or if he loses?" Because again, like these people are from what we learn from a very different country, so mm, they don't really know the gravitas of the situation. And again, she doesn't know who the hero is and who even the villain is. This is like they probably just like accidentally come across that, or maybe All Might hacked all the footage to be able to like show you on this. But regardless, we have the one saying that's all going on in some far off land. Whoever wins doesn't have much to do with us, which is basically the thought. I'm assuming that's also the thought process of some people because, like, why would they care? It's like it's Japan. Why would what happens in some other country matter to us? Kind of deals. Maybe some social commentary here that I just do not care about, but yeah, I get the here as a kid's like, oh, huh. As then he watches the television, and this he I guess I mean just looks more intently at All Might as a kid. We see the kid's hand, then we see that he's kind of like also having kind of like his hands in the prayer, be like, please save the day, or please save Mister Hero, please stop the villain, kind of deal. Like he supports him, if he doesn't, even though he's been told that it does not matter. He still wants the bad outcomes, which makes sense. It's all for one isn't gonna stop there. It's kind of like a Voldemort in Harry Potter, where he's when you look at his action, it's kind of limited to only Britain. But if he had won in the Battle of Hogwarts or beforehand, he would definitely have moved over to other countries because he would definitely have the interest. It's kind of like he wants to conquer one area first and then go into other areas for conquest. But yeah, basically that's to see uh, the regular citizens' reactions on this as then we cut to back to the area for the clash. Then we see that the laser completely self-destructing because again it was like going overload and using more force than it was supposed to, and it busted because again machines cannot. That's the issue with the gadget is they have limits, and once they reach those limits, they cannot surpass them. As All Might looks up, he's like, "Oh shit! It reached its max capacity." As it just starts to fall down and be rubble. As then we have All Might be like, "Oh shit! Of all time, so close!" As then we get the smoke from where All For One stood. As All For One, like a child from like I want to say, I think he looks a bit older in the child that we've saw previously, but basically like a child version of All For One is kind of like crawling from it. Probably just destroyed legs that haven't fully restored yet. As he says to them, as I said, tools can surpass their own limits. Yes, and you're a child now, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, honestly, considering this, I mean, between the tools that were going up against you and Gigantomachia, the tools seem to be far more effective than Gigantomachia. I mean, I don't want to trust in Gigantomachia, but I mean, the game, like, I can totally see people arguing about All Might's armor versus Gigantomachia, who would win kind of deals. So, yeah, I would say this is very. We're gonna see about the results here. So yeah, I could always see that's being consistent gonna start. But regardless, we didn't have All Might fingers stuff. His whole body is glowing. Are we as All Might says, are we lad now? So yeah, All For One's like a child. And then we have All For One saying, "Are you forgetting to smile, that friend?" So yeah, there's a bit of a snark, though I think he's kind of like losing the snark at this point. As then we have him like making some kind of weird blobbish creature from the back of his to send it at All Might. As then it kind of, he gets like a kind of a shake, like wait, what? As then we have All Might being, huh? What's going on? As All For One thinks to himself, I can't move. As then we see like this kind of and All Might going there, going towards him. I guess he wants to just like do like physically don't punch him if everything else failed, kind of deal. As then we have someone screaming, "Oh!" As All Might remembers his constitution with this person, be like, "Who are you, really?" As we see All Might getting again going, "Yes, great! The backup I needed." As we see Stain on some kind of green goblin as glider thing saying, "All bleeds rat." As then we have we get a panel with the greenish All Might. As then we have this person Stung licking the wall with All For One's blood. As we have this person saying, "No, conquer him, All Might." As we see Stain appear at the end of the chapter with his super look with the getting his sword out, having the biggest tongue. Oh, like seriously, did Austin always have a longer tongue than a normal person? Because his tongue was like 3 times the size of a regular person. Look, your badass, and end of chapter. And not gonna lie, this chapter's kind of a disappointment. Like, I mean, I was there thinking that this chapter's gonna be like the final blow at least for these two, but yet we're ending up with a setup chapter to this setup to the penultimate, to the the penultimate chapter for this fight. Kind of disappointing, honestly. Like I don't mind the Stain showing up, and legitimately speaking, I think it makes sense that Stain would show up either in this fight or the Izuku versus Shigaraki fight. But there's probably like a more impactful if it was here in this battle against All For One. Since it's kind of like shows even like the guy who's known as the hero kill is siding with the heroes against All For One. That's kind of like one of the biggest like blows you can do against All For One and all the fear and all the terror. Like even other villains are not siding with, like someone like Stain is siding with All Might. So yeah, and to be fair, his Stain's whole story was like he wanted to get rid of corrupt heroes, and it makes sense that he would be participating in it. And we did see him a couple of chapters ago when Ida was leaving with Shoto to go up against Darby. So yeah. I mean, I don't know where he got the glider. I don't know if All Might sent the glider towards him. I don't know if he someone else got him the glider. maybe it's I don't. I question if it's gonna be revealed since it would become a weird flashback to get this detail on. Since Stain didn't get this glider beforehand, and well, didn't have this glider beforehand, but it doesn't really matter. It's a cool visual thing, but still, it's a little like, really? This is the end? This is the chapter 400? Like, it's not a bad chapter, don't get me wrong. Like, you can question the beginning chapter with a fan service and all, but it's like, alright, this is like if chapter 1,100 in One Piece would end with Karakuri showing up and smacking Kizaru down into the Blackbeard pirate ship. This would be like if one of the chapters of Black Clover that's gonna be released, one of the final chapters of Black Clover that's gonna be released on Giga Jump would end with Mars showing up and pushing Lucius to the floor or something. Like, remember, these characters showing up is not a bad thing, and this would be a really good and hyped chapters if they showed up. But it's like when you have chapters like 400, 500, and all that, you kind of expect a little bit more. And to be fair, it's not like it's a guarantee. Like, I mean, I do think the writers do try to make an extra amount of epicness to it, or at least they try to focus on a more epic aspect. Like chapter 1,000 in One Piece, I believe, wasn't anything over the top spectacular, but the chapter was focused. I think most of the chapter was focused on the rooftop, where it ended with uh, Luffy kind of just going past Kaido and Big Mom, just congratulating the Red Scabbards, you did your jobs, but now it's our turn. And then saying, I will be king of the pirates in a very badass stone. Like, they do try, but it's like, it's all guaranteed, but still, the staying short just kind of feels like a bit of a disappointment, in all honesty. And again, like, you can't really plan it out exactly, and you did plan some spectacular moments to happen in a few chapters. You'd probably end up in a thing where a lot of fights would either feel rushed or extended, so you get to these moments in these chapters. So it's like, I get why. Like, it would be kind of rushed if we forced the final blow on All For One, or the final blow on All Might, or something like that in this chapter. But still, I feel like it should have been. It's kind of like, especially since I don't think it's gonna last long. Like, that's a crazy thing. I think possibly in the next chapter, the chapter after that, is where we get like a kind of passing of a legends type of chapter where like All For One and All Might pass away. Like, like, either both of them die, either one of them dies. Something's gonna happen where it's gonna kind of be like this big ending. Like, even if we assume that All Might stays and only All For One dies, and then he goes to uh against Izuku and Shigaraki. Like, I don't think it's gonna be long. Like, at most, I would say chapter 410 is when those is at the longest I can really see a gap. But even that, I think I'm giving it, I'm stretching it out a bit when if I'm totally honest. But I guess it's like, I guess it's what it is. But still, kind of disappointing for chapter 400. Not really, especially since this is like the last milestone. Not a bad chapter, but kind of the number of the chapters really bugging me, kind of thing. But yeah, anyways, that's it for the chapter. Like I said, the next chapter is either, I feel like, gonna be a conclusion or the penultimate chapter for this fight. Either it's gonna be like a final blow against All For One, or maybe it's gonna be a kind of a like last couple of seconds type of deal. We'll see on that how that's gonna resolve itself. But yeah, kind of okay, chapter. Like, I can't really say much about it since it's kind of like, it's what you see, what is what you get. Like, the result, like, it's like you kind of know the results next chapter. You know it's gonna be results coming really quickly. I don't think it's gonna be any kind of like, I know it's gonna be like some kind of I mean, it could still be some shocking plot twist, but at this point, I don't think it is gonna be. But we'll have to wait and see for it. Now, anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts in this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.